All right, good evening. We are back with the next session in our series where we're using an LLM to help us build a website. The idea here is that we are making a site for young children to learn the basics of typing. We're going to do that in like fun and engaging ways. So, for example, you see here on the screen we have the baseball game that we had been working on from last time. Our first session was just asking the LLMs to give us the very basics of the game, and then in the last stream we had showed comparisons where we worked with DeepSeek, Claude, GPT, uh, the 4.0, the o3, and the 4.5 models, and then Gemini as well. And I would say of those, the uh, best performing one was Claude, and then next after that would actually be DeepSeek. What we ended up getting with ChatGPT is that it would assume we would have pictures of a baseball field, even though we specified to put that in there. And then with the Google version, it was basically giving us boilerplate code with everything kind of left for us to put in there. So even though we kind of provided it specifics for example, when you type the correct letter here, how does that actually interact with the game? And then Gemini had basically said, here, put this in the, we'll give you the shell for the JavaScript that's going in here, but you need to actually fill in details here. And that's not how we prompted it. And that wasn't what we were expecting in terms of the output. DeepSeek ended up doing, I would say, okay. It still had some of the challenges that we had with the other ones, with not exactly understanding what it was that was being asked for it. When we were asking it to, for example, generate the field here, it at one point had these lines going basically straight out from home plate. Another time where once it got to the outfield, the lines then went in a straight line back up again instead of kind of going out from the plate here. Uh, Even the Claude version that we ended up going with, we still had to work with it because the you'll see here when it runs to play and where we had left it was that the it would be fine going to first base. Second base was just slightly off of the base itself, and then third base is kind of over here to the side. So if I go, I guess I'll go to the preview mode here, and we'll hopefully see it here on the first shot. Okay, there we go. So it got a single, right? And then now you can see here, like this is just slightly off from the center of the base. And then, like I said, third base is kind of way over here. And then the other thing was we'd initially had it where it was slowly pitching the ball in. Basically, we said give it like a 5-second timer to go in and for the player to type. But once we asked it to refine those, it had forgotten about that in the previous parts and had dropped that. So we're going to kind of pick up that here. And then another thing is uh, with Claude here, in terms of its output, there is a constraint in the number of tokens that it outputs. My guess is it's probably around 4,000 or so, maybe 8,000 here. And then there's also restrictions in terms of the overall context length in the chat itself. So once you hit a certain length, it will ask you to upgrade to a premium subscription. The way you can get around this is you can just open a new chat and then give it the code where it had left off and just say continue generating the code for whatever it was you were doing, in this case the baseball typing game. Another way to do it is that you can ask them, where is it here, ask it to just give you the code snippets. So once we had generated the full part of the game, just work on specific parts of it at a time and only have it give you the code for that. So that way you're not ending up with it regenerating everything because, like I said, this is quite long in terms of the code here. I want to say we had seen here about 400 lines for the code that it was outputting. And with each token here is going to be, for example, the constant designation here, angle. Each of these are individual tokens along the way. And so you can see here how quickly you can kind of run up the context window that you have available to you. So picking up there, then we want to say, come back here. Oh yeah, the other thing we were trying to do was to get it so that it actually hits the ball in the fair and foul territories. So coming back to our working example here, you can see now, before it was like shooting the baseball off into the foul territory here on the left side of first base, and that wasn't where we wanted. And you can see now it's pretty regularly getting it within the field, although it really likes to keep things on this first baseline, so it doesn't have quite a wide enough range here. And that's where we were asking it to go through the code from last time and make those changes. So uh, here you can see uh, this is how it's determining things. So the angle here ends up being, like I said, just forcing things over to uh, the right side of the field here. And so we want to do it. So let's see. This was the code snippet that it had generated, and this is where we had left off. So basically, we have to replace the whole hit ball function here. Let's see, did I put that in here or no? No, I had not. So that comes to here. And paste that. Hold on, I think I had in VS Code. Yeah, because then we don't have to constantly keep adjusting. Let's go all the way up to the hit ball function, paste that in. Oh, too far. Shift this over, let everything falls in line, and then let's see what we've got here. And so this only replaces a here. So now let's take all the code here, and we want to drop this back into the website. We'll come out of preview mode here, we'll come to this section. Make sure, yeah. So preview. Let's see how we're doing now. So G, there we go. We're starting to get through the fields. And then, like I said, you can see here, the runner dots for first and third base are slightly off in the same thing, or are, I would say, quite a bit off. And then the second base positions are as well. So let's see here. The dots for the runner do not line up with the base locations. Provide the snippets to fix the runners. Let's see here. Let's see what it says. Okay. So it says to adjust these slightly. So So let's do all this. I need to shift this in, copy everything over. C, W, E. That's much better, even if it is not exactly on the square or the diamonds for those. That's much better overall. We have that, and then the other thing is the ball should pitch from the pitcher's mound to the plate, indicating the 5 seconds that that the user has to um, correctly type the letters. Please provide the updated tidbit. So it's generating for throw ball. Let's see if we have that in the code. We do. It goes in there. We're going to move everything over. Everything should line up, closes out nicely. And then it goes there. And we need to go to the hit ball function. Here. We're going to go up in the function. We're going to select all. Go back here. Preview. There we go. R, Y. Well, there we go. The only other suggestion I would say is let's put a ring around the ball as it moves. We come here, we're looking for a ball. Then we want to edit, back here. And that is much better. Okay. I just noticed this here, and that is the score is incrementing even when you get a hit. So regardless, like you see how just it hit double, we got 2 for a score, but realistically, we should not have that be the case. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you see how we shouldn't have any runs in, but we've got 3 as far as the score goes. I'm guessing it's just adding a point for each base, but the idea is that for each runner that would make it home, you would add a score here. Let's go here. The scoring is incorrect. I believe it is providing a point for each base on a hit, but could only be providing a point when the runner reaches home. So let's go take each of these over here. So it asks us add these to the variables. We should find them here. And then what else we got? We are updating the runners. You see how it got much larger in terms of what is actually here in the case. Okay, makes sense. And then it said remove from the hit score or hit ball. Let's go to reset game. And there we go. So select everything. Back here. Take this. We're gonna preview. Now this should score 2. So it's working great. Perfect. So those solve the things that we want here. There's small things here like the ad space to work on. There's a few things here. The ad spaces are appearing at the very top and over in the game area. Remember, this is being built using GoDaddy's website builder. And being put into an HTML block. So that was the first thing that was happening here. And then let me double check the type. Before, yeah, it was doing this cursive. The text should be easily readable by children. So do not use cursive. Okay, so there's the game container that it's referring to. We're going to change that. And then these are the two ad space. And the body was right here. You want to select all, go paste it in. And so I'm still having the issue here. The side add is overlaying the rules section, rules instruction section. Please correct this. Was that actually called instructions? Yeah, it was. Okay. So going back here, fix the instructions. That's fine. Let's base side. And then the game container. Let's see. First, I'm going to copy that and go back here to the site, edit, and and now it's worse than before. Uh, this is worse before. Side add has now caused the playing area to be pushed down. Fix it or remove it. Okay, so that caused an issue where we ran out of context. So it's a good time where we can show this off. So this is, we've been saving it here. Make sure that it's been saved. So give it a little bit more context. This change to add space is worse than before. The side add has now caused the playing area to be pushed down. Fix it. Okay. So it does exist. I guess we don't. Right, content wrapper didn't exist before, so follow along with where it is. That comes right after the container. It's main content. Double check game area. Let's, but you can see here it lost the, before we were telling it just to provide snippets, and then we could stop telling it that. You can see now it's still going to try and generate the whole thing. We're going, come on now. Yeah, tons of messages. Tons of messages. All right, so it looks like it, yeah, it tried to rewrite the whole code base from scratch. So I guess they added or updated the context window because it seems like this is most everything in the game itself. So I don't know if that's new or what had changed there. We have still this issue where the ad space is not had not been fixed. These changes did not fix the ad space. Now it is displaying on the left side, and the game is still being pushed down. Again, either fix it so the game is at the center of the screen, or remove that ad space. Provide the snippets to fix instead of regenerating all the code. And this should help to shorten the time down. Oh, there you go. So, uh, so instead of it requiring multiple continues, it just used up the entire uh, window basically for the chat. So we'll have to come here, do the same thing, and we'll put this in here. And hopefully we're generating these like short ones. All right, so it looks like it came through. Change this game container again. I know these aren't all together, so let's take them piece by piece. Take the wrapper, main content, select one, that's fine. Add space side. But change it back to absolute. Let's see here. Well, maybe that's why I was trying to regenerate everything. Right, so this part stays the same here. Right, but this is not there. We have the typing game. Assume then that this means that all the other things would have to get shifted in more. To line up with the content wrapper. And then be on this line here. Save it, copy it, make sure. Okay, so let's copy all. Paste it in there. And once again, we're in the same boat as before, where how far an absolute position right box margin is offset to the left. Let's just change this to 100. See where that gets us. It looks like nothing's changed. We have all this empty space here that it could reasonably go into. The part at the top is fine. Okay, so that can't go there. And then it was here. Now if I take all this, it's completely gone, which is good. Oh, preview, start the game. Hey, perfect, no runs yet. One run in, which is fine. Good. And that cleared the bases. All right, perfect. So that's working the way we wanted to. Um, publish these changes. We did that. Let's take this. I want to select all. I want to copy it. File, new file. We're going to call this animal rescue. And save it as animal rescue.html. Code for it. And then here, make a new chat. This is the code for my animal rescue typing game. There are a few small changes that I would like implemented. Animals here after they are saved. Let's let the last 5 persist. What is that called? In the safe zone. Let's have the animals appear on the tree instead of the upper left hand corner of the screen. And you'll see this here when we actually go to run it here. The first thing is we start it, and then we've got a koala over here, and then it goes there and it just disappears. It's gone. And so we definitely don't want that to happen. And then you can see here, like this one is completely off the screen. So another one to call. Sometimes the letter for the animal does not appear on the screen entirely. Let's make sure that it is always completely within the space. Um, Another thing is that when you're playing, like there's only one animal that appears at a time. Um, there is only one animal appearing at a time. Let's let there be up to five on the tree, and they can disappear after 5 seconds. If there are no animals on the screen, always generate a new one. This lets, like, if the kid starts to get proficient at finding where the keys are, there should always be one to let them to accumulate more of a score. That way, it's 60 seconds. The rest of it looks fairly nice, like I said. This one came out pretty good in terms of the initial implementation, and so there's very small things here. So we'll put that in and let's see how it generates the individual pieces. I imagine this may take a little bit. Let's see here. Why is that empty? Save it. Try this again. Definitely, there's a file there for sure. Okay. Let's hope we don't run out of context here because it's trying to, even though I'd mentioned the first one. Oh no, I didn't mention providing the code snippets, so it's going to rewrite everything, which is fine. Just hope that this will be more effective than the baseball versions. And it does take a bit to run through. It seems like it's already adding more because this wasn't all that long. Yeah, about 400 lines. I guess we'll see what we get here. Hopefully it doesn't run out of um, response length or context that we can finish it. This is better than even a week ago when we were doing this last time. Or like I said, it would, and you saw the chats here where we had to, to like continue over and over again. Yeah. and then it ended up running out. So even when I type this in, it would give me the warning that we've hit the end of the chat, so we can't use that one. So looks like let's see how well done. So hey, moves there. Oh, it's doubling up, and there's too many animals appearing on top of one another. So that's like small. Okay. Provide code snippets for the following changes. The animals are appearing too quickly and are also covering one another. They also weren't in the tree itself, were they? Right, yeah, so they're not appearing in the tree itself. So I guess two things. Do this. So it's generating that part. Let's go here. It says go to the game variables, which I'm starting to get a bit more of the hang of where to expect these. And then I'm adjusting this down to 1, even though 2 seconds, because it was not. And then modify, check and create animals. Nothing here for check. Oh, okay. That was not pasted in here. Let's do that. And we're going to go back. Since check and create animals is there, we'll grab that here. And then I need to go here. We're going to drop this in. Grab all these. So we're not done. There were more changes. And create animal. And we want to shift everything over. Maybe go over one more. There we go. Save it, grab it, back here. Let's see. You okay? It's doing better. There's still some overlap. We're still getting overlap with the animals, and they are not near the tree, which is near the middle of the playing area. Only provide the snippets to update. So regenerating that again. Okay, so while it's generating the rest, we can now come here. We'll grab the create animal function again, and we'll try and replace it. Double tab everything over. And then what is treetop? That's probably something we have to put in here. See. Create. Gotcha. That was my if it's here. Double check. I said to make the timer longer between them. This was already it was supposed to be at 2 seconds. So be here. See if this is any better. It did not take the whole thing. And it's not actually working now because TrueTap doesn't exist, right? That's what we saw here in the code. Right? Let's see. The treetop constant that you refer to does not exist in the code. So new chat. Here we go. We were working on making fixes to this game. Please provide only the code that needs to be changed. And then once we've got that, we need to then tell it the last change you suggested referred to a treetop variable or constant, which does not exist. So here we go. Let's see. We've got this is in the create animal function. Create animal, it needs to fix this. Move those in. Then I need to replace these as well. Now let's save it and we will take this over. Here we go. This a great. So I think there's some overlap here where it's moving it's got redundant animations, right? The safe is appearing here, but then it's also keeping them in the box as well. And so we want to remove or have it remove that. Once an animal is saved, it's appearing twice in the save box. The one from the tree can disappear after being saved. And the other thing we saw is that the 2 seconds is now working more correctly. I don't know if we take this down. Okay. We need to go here and we need to find rescued animals. Rescue animal here. I'm just taking that whole function. I'm going to replace it. Move it over twice, save it, get everything. Edit here, paste that in. Great. And now it's disappearing properly. The animals are not overlapping with one another as well. Okay, but we can make the tree bigger so that there's more space for them to appear. Let's do that. So those will be up here. Tree trunk, and tree top. Take that and bring it back to the site here. Drop these in. I want to see if we can get more. Yeah, so let's say this width is now 400. It seems close to what we want. It made it like slightly bigger. Yeah, there we go. So I hope that this now fills up. Is there really a limit of 2? Let's see. It seems like only 2 animals can appear at most. This should be up to 5. Most can appear. So it's suggesting that there's interference between trying to create the animal and then placing the animal. As in, like, it's expecting, or it won't create it if there's that overlap. So create animal is what we're looking for here. Create animal. Over twice. And Rescue animal. Now we should save, copy, paste it up here. Let's see. Got the rescue. Good, more space. Nice. Okay. Working the way we want it to. F, R, Z, F, F. A lot of Fs. The B should be there. Okay, B. There's an issue now with duplicate letters. Let's just say that. Duplicate letters on active animals should not be possible. All right, so hopefully this will take care of that. Go back up to create animal here. We'll give it a test run. I don't see any overlaps. Let's type some of these in. The key, it should be within. And you can see it ends up eating away. So is it, if the letter's not within the tree area, if that's what caused the problem, we'll try an H here. Should be, was that visual or not? All right, here we go. Bear is a visual issue with animals that appear slightly outside of the tree area that will not accept their letter being entered. And remain on the screen, which reduces the number of animals that the user can then interact with. Okay, so we need to go to the animal here. Usable area of the tree. Okay, so where does it say to put this? There it is. So I don't think that needs to change. This part. And all the way through the found position section. So here, you need to go in, basically this part. Save it, select it all, copy it. See what we've got here. Here we go. There we go. So we've got a good mix. W's there. You can see how the W1 is causing issues. And that's why I'm getting to try again. Even the K is not. B is an issue. B is not working again. Okay. There's still some small bugs to work out. We can pick that up for next time. Um, Overall, we have good progress here. We made it through the finishing the baseball game, getting that to a stage where it works pretty nicely. And then we're working on the animal rescue. We'll continue next time with that, and then we'll work through the remainder of the games that we have here. So we have a Space Explorer, Letter Catcher, Jungle, an Ocean Adventure, and then Treasure Hunter. We can work through those bit by bit. So each one, we spent about an hour and a half today here. So we're at, let's say, 6 to 8 hours total, just in terms of getting things generated for the site. And we're still not entirely at a place where all the games I would consider highly uh, operationalized. in terms of playing, but it is at a stage where they are working, I would say working fairly well as far as the baseball game goes. And then animal rescue, it's most of the way there. There's some small things here. We'll probably encounter more things as we continue through with the other games, but um, we're talking for, essentially if somebody was working on this like all day. It certainly wasn't something that I would be able to do on my own. I'm starting to get more comfortable with the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript here, and kind of just knowing a bit better where things are being generated, which then makes it better in terms of the output that we're getting here. You saw when we had those cases where I didn't tell it to provide me only the snippet, it spends a while regenerating all the code, especially for small changes that are unnecessary. So that helped keeping us moving. We had a couple moments of downtime while we were waiting on the first iteration of this animal rescue because it changed everything directly within the code file itself instead of pointing to where we wanted to be. So we'll make sure to keep going forward with that in the future. And then I will likely be streaming again tomorrow. We'll pick kind of right up where we left off with the animal rescue game. And then hopefully we'll be moving into the Space Explorer and hopefully even the letter catcher. So we'll see how progress goes, but we definitely sped up. The baseball one was one of the hardest just because you have to like position the diamond itself and then small things along the way of runners not lining up. Those have all been ironed out, and now those work pretty nicely. So continue our progress tomorrow, and I hope to see you all there.